What is up, guys? Welcome to the vlog. So, I'm at my house right now. You're gonna see me here and in the shop a lot, but this week I am working on some cornhole boards. So, I'm actually in the middle of the project. I had to go back and record this intro, but just wanted to welcome you guys. Let's get into it. Right, I have got my coffee, guys. We are good to go. I'm thinking about some blog names. I want you guys to come up with some suggestions, but I kind of like sawdust and coffee. So the scope of this project is pretty simple. I'm building 2 sets of cornhole boards, and if you guys have not heard of Cornhole, it is a wonderful game that is super southern. I kind of like it. Essentially it's just the board that you've seen that I've been working on, and they're 2 feet by 4 feet, and you'll have a 6-inch hole cut towards the top of the board. The idea is you space them out 27 feet apart, and then you have bean bags that you try to throw, and you get points for landing them on the board or getting them in the hole. You get more points. Long story short, I started working on these about 3 days ago. They are due on Thursday, and today is Tuesday, so they are still very much apart. That logo that's on there is a little bit lighter than he wanted, so I'm actually painting the inside of it this nice light green color that's going to be in the neighborhood and some of the houses. So I have to paint the logos, assemble the rest of them, cut the legs. That's a process. The boards sit at an angle, so there's 2 legs on the back that hold it up. I still have to do that. So I'm rushing a little bit, and the moral of the story is don't wait. Plan your projects out. This is something that when we get in the shop, if we get in the shop, especially if we get in the shop late in the semester, you guys are going to have to be good at time management. And that just means, planning out your project, going, okay, this is going to take this many days and I can't get too far behind. Because something that you need to know about woodworking is it's really hard to rush things. One, it can be dangerous if you're really pushing to get things done and you're, throwing boards through machines and trying to get things cut quickly. That's a good way to hurt yourself, and that's just not worth it. And the second thing is, any project that I've ever rushed, and this one is a little bit rushed, but I'm taking my time with the details, which is the important part. I'm just having to work a lot in a couple of days. But the important part is that I've never worked on a project that I've rushed that turned out good. I've honestly said a lot, and I'm still pretty young. I still have a lot to learn, but I've always said that the mark of a good woodworker is patience and the ability to fix your mistakes, because you're gonna mess up. Right, so I'm gonna give you guys a garage tour. Our garage was a huge mess yesterday, so what I've got here for you guys is just me taking the time to clean it up a little bit. It's really important to keep your shop nice and clean. You can see me using an air hose to get a lot of the dust out of the shop and just prep it for the next project. So organizing some things, getting the dust out. So I'm gonna make another mess, but it's always important to clean and sweep up, as you see I'm doing here. So now that we've got it all clean, let's get into the tour. The garage. So that's leading into our house. There's an office in there. When you come in, we've got a nice big table right here. You can see that we've got a chop saw in here. I had it set to some 45. I was cutting these cornhole boards together. Gives you a nice even table to cut things on. Got our scrap bucket down there. You always want to keep your scraps all in one place, not lying around. Got some live edge slabs over here. These are ones that I actually cut them with a chainsaw. I hope to do a vlog on that sometime soon. There's a really big one there that I cut out of a tree at my roommate's parents' house. You guys are gonna see a partial project right here. This will be coming soon. That is on the way. Got some just feed roller things up there on the wall. Those are just extra things for off feed tables. Got a barrel down here that I'm turning into a cabinet. We've got here a combination sander, so you've got a disc sander right here and then a belt sander right there. This thing is really useful. Now buried under a few more projects that you guys are gonna see, this is the one that we're working on right now, this cornhole board. And then I've got some more live edge slabs, some really pretty color in them. The other door, some pieces for our project up here, the Kumiko stuff. And underneath all that is my table saw cart. This thing rolls out. And then over here, we've also got another rolling machine. This is a small bandsaw. This thing is really helpful for cutting curves. And then here's a few more projects, all in various stages. I've got some side tables and a console that I want to build. This funky looking thing might turn into a coffee table with this glass top. Up here, just some lawn equipment, but also behind it is some chainsaw equipment. That's what I use to cut those slabs over there. And I've also got something that I borrowed from your old shop teacher. This is probably the biggest chainsaw I have ever seen. This is a huge chainsaw, and this thing is actually, this frame right here is how you cut those slabs. It's called an Alaskan mill a lot of times. So we've got that. We've got a little dust collector back here that my roommate built for this big old thing. This is a CNC router. So computer numerically controlled coordinate, I believe is what that stands for. This thing is gigantic. My roommate uses it to cut custom built guitars. He does these things. You can see some of the waist boards that he's got here. There's a neck and then the body of the guitar, which is really cool. So he's got this sweet touchscreen setup in here. Then we've got a metal cabinet over here. These are super important in shops to keep your finishes and things safe, because sometimes these things can be combustible, which means they could catch on fire. And so a metal cabinet is a way of kind of containing that if they do catch on fire. So there's that. We've got a nice little lumber storage rack here. I had some extra trampoline springs that I use as a safety device, so if the boards fall, they won't fall on me. Clamps and things. Got some levels and whatnot on the wall, and I've got a real janky light hung up here right now. And then finally, I've got my my cart right here. So this top is actually separate. You'll see me build this in another vlog. You'll see me cutting that all up in the shop at the school. But I've just got some stuff down here. It's a nice place to have everything in one spot. I can roll it out into the middle. I've got chargers and drills and things. And I've got a nice drawer in here to kind of keep, it's a bit of a mess, but some chisels, more chisels, a hand plane. Usually there's a tape measure in here somewhere. And then finally, we've got a nice little rack up here just to hold some commonly used items. So tape measure, safety glasses, some clamps, some drill bits that I usually use, and then a pencil or two. So yeah, that's the shop, guys, or at least my shop. We will get to the school shop pretty soon. We are jumping into a couple days ago. I'm just showing you guys the laser printer printing out the design, or cutting really. It's engraving the design onto these boards. I just thought it was really cool. So wanted to show you guys that before we jump into our safety gear. Assembly time. time lapse here. I'm gonna show you guys how I cut the hole that goes up here. So this is the Wrist Breaker 9000. This is what's called a hole saw bit. The reason I call it the Wrist Breaker is because these teeth are so far off, they're 3 inches off of the center point, there's a lot of leverage flying around in the circle. And so I'm actually using my roommate's drill instead of my own because it has some protection to keep it from grabbing and twisting really hard, because if this catches, it can really twist your arm a lot. So this kind of bit you have to be extremely careful using with a hand drill. This would probably be better suited to use in what's called a drill press, where it's this big stationary drill head to where it won't hurt my arm. It would just, be attached to the drill press head. But unfortunately, this board is too big to fit under drill press. So we're gonna be using this guy right here. Make sure we're nice and centered, and let's go. Alright, y'all, so I think this is where we're gonna end this vlog. We've got all 4 of these beautiful cornhole boards together. You can still see those lines on most of these. This one's been sanded. The rest of these need to get sanded. We need to add legs to them. And then we're also gonna be adding, I think I mentioned it before, got some stuff over here, a green paint. So this is a test, it's a little bit messy. I'm gonna work on painting this in, making it look really nice. And then we will also get into putting some finish on these in the next vlog. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.